How are you guys? It's nice to see you. Hi, everybody. Can you see me yet? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me yet? I can see you. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can you guys see me yet? You see me. Yay. All right, good. I was like, I knew we were having some technical issues. It's so good to see you. Welcome to Elder Council. Oh my goodness. I look forward to Elder Council like almost nothing else, and I hope that you're excited about it too, because this is one of my favorite, days of the year. We only do this 4 times a year. It's so sacred and super, super special. So if you're here, it's because you were meant to be here, and I really hope that you're going to enjoy what I do with you today. I've never done the same Elder Council twice. Those of you who've been with me, I've been doing Elder Council for, what is it now? Some of you have been around that long. Is it like 8.5? I think it's 8.5 years I've been doing Elder Council. So maybe longer, maybe it's a full 9. So I never do the same thing twice because I don't want to bore anybody. Although, I don't know how many of you would remember the first couple ones that I did. So, thank you. I had a 2-hour power healing session with one of my teachers this morning, and I swear to you, I mean, I'm not fishing for compliments. I feel like it shaved like 10 years off my aging process. We did this really cool exercise. So I'm working with her, developing new interesting things to do with you next year in our alchemy program. And I kind of am test driving a lot of the fun energy work that I'm planning to do with you next year. And so it's like, woo! I feel very energized. I'm extremely ready for Elder Council today, so I hope you are too. Well, thank you. Okay, so whose first time Elder Council? Someone said it was their first time. Has anybody else? I see one person first time Elder Council. Anybody else not done this process before? I'm going to explain what it is, and those of you who've done it before and you know what it is, then you can just enjoy hearing me say it again. But I do have to repeat this every time we gather because it's part of the commitment that I made. Thanks, you guys. So Yvonne said, I've been with you for years. I know you have, but this is her first Elder Council. The timing is right. You know what I mean? Everything's lining up. So Julie, Molly, Mishwish, hold on. No. Come back here, feed. Look at this. Okay, so Phyllis DeLuca, I just want to acknowledge you guys. Darlene Bailey's first, Alana Harrison's first Elder Council, Lori Ingraham, Jess Miller, it's her first time here, welcome. Really happy that you're here. This is going to be Agnes's first time, Conspiracy's first time. It's not Sarah's first time. Catherine Womack's first time. And then it's Julie Baldino, Molly Nicholson, Mishwish, Carrie Floof. Look at that. Crystal Enriquez, Karen Williams. This is so exciting, you guys. So Molly, Yvonne, Susan, Donna. This is really, really exciting. I am thrilled to, I'm going to lose track of the feed, but I saw all your names and I'm really happy that you're here for the first time. So, Elder Council is a quarterly shamanic journey that we do together for wisdom access. There's a couple things you need to have prepared for tonight, so that's what I want to focus on first, so that if you need to go get some paper and a pen, because you will need paper and a pen this time. I'm going to have you write some stuff down. So if you don't have paper and pen in front of you, I always have paper and pen in front of me. I don't know if you've noticed. You know how kids have security blankets? I have security notebooks. Everything in my life is written in my notebook. It's insane. And I have stacks of notebooks, filled notebooks. I don't know why I don't throw them away. One day my kids are going to be like, what even are these things? So anyway, I always have a security notebook. If you don't have a security notebook, then you need to go get some paper and a pen. Nothing fancy, just 1 or 2 sheets of notebook paper is fine, or some note cards. Isn't that fun? How many people are new? It's a great time to be new, and it's a great time to be new to Elder Council. I wanted to do this Elder Council ahead of Samhain, which is September or October 30th, 31, which is a big portal. So if you're not familiar with Samhain, I'll tell you about that in just a second too. So what do you need? You need a pen and paper, and I'm going to invite you don't have to do this part, to bring, I would recommend a piece of jewelry, but it can be a tumble stone, it can be anything, honestly. It can be a sphere, it can be your platonic solids, it can be a class tool, could be a family heirloom, you know what I mean? But it's nice to have something that you hold with you or wear on you in Elder Council, because it holds the energy of that experience. This ring that my friend in India made, these were the ones I had in the gem sale. I don't have any more of these. But these were really special to me because he's really special to me, and he cherry-picked all the green tourmaline, and green tourmaline is a wisdom and discernment stone. So the reason I kept one is I don't have green tourmaline in jewelry, and wisdom and discernment is kind of my thing right now. I'm really cultivating that. And one of my focuses with my teachers this year, and I share this with you just so that you know that, like, I'm always furthering my practice too. I'm working with 3 different teachers right now. And one of my focuses is I'm trying to get faster at discernment download integration. That's what we're calling that process, the DDI. So I'm trying to get instantaneous with my discernment download integration, so that when I step into a situation, I don't go, well, I don't know, maybe, what if I, and then get into like doubt and questioning. I'm trying to like move through situations in my life and see how much faster I can discern, download, and integrate. So I'm taking that energy into tonight's session to ask for support in that process. If you have something that you're working on, if you have a process that you're working on, maybe you're trying to deepen your meditation, or maybe you haven't felt like you've really seriously connected with your spirit guides before, and you're like, I want to feel them more, I want to hear them more, I want to sense them more. That's a great intention to bring into Elder Council, and then maybe choose a stone or a piece of jewelry or something that would kind of represent that energy for you, and bring that through. Sheila's got a great question. So I have made multiple Elder Council perfumes in my tenure, and I'll tell you why. Femme Elder is the only one I don't have the notes for you. I forgot to write them down before we started. But Femme Elder was made, okay, let me back up the track. I'm really glad you asked it, by the way, Sheila, because it's an important question. You don't have to have Elder Council perfume. I'll just say that out the gate. You don't have to have anything for anything, right? It's all frosting. It's all bonus, right? You're the cake. But when we add on tools, we add on layers of frosting, and frosting does make a cake taste different, right? So Elder Council perfume was created right after my first Elder Council experience. And I had been working with someone in San Francisco who helped me cultivate the first concept of what Elder Council would be. And so we decided that it was this council of grandfathers, the original concept of Elder Council. And so there's all these big grandfather medicines in there. I can read you all the list of the specific notes. So in Elder Council there is mugwort, blue sage, thuja, myrrh, bay, pinon pine resin, frankincense, myrrh, white sage, artemisia, and ceremonial tobacco, to name a few, right? So there's all these like really big, heavy, dense, mostly masculine, although mugwort I see is kind of feminine, but mostly masculine energies, okay? Ultimate Elder Council came up as a sort of a request from our community to include Integrate perfume, so Integrate perfume was a perfume that I made for Magical Sabbatical years ago, and Integrate was cedarwood, opoponax, and oak moss. And the reason I made that perfume for Sabbatical is they fell in love with that combination, and they didn't want to have to go and buy the oil separately and mix it themselves, so I made it for them. And then it was like, what if we included that with Elder Council? Oh my God, because opoponax is like throws open your upper chakras. So we thought that would be a really potent combination. So then that became Ultimate Elder Council. Am I confusing you yet? So we took all the originals, then we added this additional blend that Sabbatical members wanted back in the day, because that perfume doesn't exist anymore either. So that's Ultimate Elder Council. The Mist is a fun, light version of Elder Council original perfume. And I love the label that Gabriel made because that is so true to kind of what Elder Council is to me, like the flower of life with all of the spirit guides. I don't know why it's not showing you very well, but look at me. Not going to show you. But anyway, so you don't have to have any of these. No, I don't think it was Portal. I think it was Integrate. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was Portal. So you don't have to have it, but it's kind of just a nice addition to the process. Now, what I don't have to offer you, and I'm sorry, because I'm going to use it tonight, and I don't have it to sell you. So I'm just going to be a tease, is my Elder Council incense. This is one of my favorite incenses. Went right up my nose. This is one of my favorite incenses that I've ever made, but it is a pain in the behind to make, so we just haven't made it in a while. That's the honest truth. Someday I'll make it again. It's just, it takes a long time because there's so many ingredients and we have to freeze some of them and grind some of them and burn some of them, and it's this huge. I used to make it in my kitchen and it would take me a day, like a full 24-hour cycle, and Dave would be like, please, please, please tell me that you're not making Elder Council incense again. I was like, shit. So the Mist, anyway, is just a lighter version of Elder Council perfume that you can use around your space. Threefold we just had back in stock. Threefold is Mugwort, Mullein, and Mandrake. And we just had it back in stock last month, I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, we don't have to talk too much more about this, but since you asked about the difference. And then Femme Elder, because Elder Council and Ultimate Elder Council are very masculine. And we were doing an Elder Council where we were connecting more with feminine energies, so then I made an additional blend that had more of a balance of the feminine and the masculine. Well, I just gave you the ingredients, Sheila, so you make it. I mean, the ingredients are on the listing. So what you need to make Elder Council perfume is mugwort, blue sage, thuja, myrrh, pinyon pine resin, frankincense, white sage, artemisia, ceremonial tobacco. I think that's it. So yeah, if you combine all of those, then you have Elder Council. And you may have a lot of those in your medicine cabinet, so have a go. Or make something else. You know what I mean? Like, I love the idea, especially as you guys are getting older and wiser. I kind of like the idea that you, maybe once a quarter, you blend your own new incense or your own new perfume and start to breathe into what the experience needs to be for you. Or I also like the idea, but it's the same ingredients in the incense, Sheila. It's just a powdered version of the perfume. So it's the same ingredients. But again, you may have those, in your medicine cabinet. Or what would be even cooler in a way is after Elder Council, you go and make a new incense and you use that one the next ceremony after tonight. Do you know what I'm saying? And then after the next ceremony, you like, while you're in the zone, right? While you're still downloading and channeling and all of that, like while you're in that zone, make another one and then use that for the next one. And maybe save a little bit, each time. I love to do that. Like save a little bit from each batch that you make so that you have a record or like a lineage. You know what I mean? Like this was the first one I made after my first Elder Council, and this is the second one I made. I'm telling you that 10 years from now, you'll be so glad you did that. Because it'll almost be like a scent recording of what you learned. I mean, you can tell I'm encouraging you to make your own tools. It's so magical to make your own tools. And I appreciate that every once in a while you want to add some of my tools to your collection too, but you've got the skills and the goods. I think you do. Okay. I do have a new form of smudge in the shop that I'm obsessed with, which is why you're going to see me talking about it a lot. I don't have a lot of it. Have you worked with Shasta Sage? It's been a long time since I have this. They wild harvest this on Mount Shasta in California, which is one of the chakras of the planet. And it's also believed that it's one of the places where the Lemurian priests and priestesses dispersed. So the first thing I'm going to do before I continue my talk to you for tonight is I'm going to clear your space with a little bit of Shasta Sage. The energy of Shasta Sage is Lemuria. And so what does Lemuria represent? Unconditional love, unity, consciousness. Breathing is one species. Yeah. The lack of separation. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about Shasta sage. And I think we've had it twice at Sage Goddess in the 9 years, was we don't get it very often. They only harvest it, I think, once or twice a year. So, like, you'll find it every once in a while, but it's not abundant like white sage. It's just people wild harvest it, but it's a little more sparing. Isn't it gorge? It's a whole different smell. It's a lot sweeter than white sage. So I have a lot of clients who are like, I don't like white sage, but I love Shasta sage. And I totally get it because it's just a little more subtle. And I'm going to smudge a little bit with white sage and juniper while I keep talking to you. Okay. So when I was in San Francisco, that's when I designed the Elder Council tools. And it was a really cool experience. The man who designed them with me isn't alive anymore, unfortunately. But every time I do Elder Council, I feel him. I feel his essence. He's one of the few people I've met on this journey. Hope it's okay to tell a story. He's one of the few people I've met on this journey who I really don't think was from here. Like, legit. Whenever I met with him, or whenever I talked to him, or whenever I saw him, like, I always kind of expected to turn around and that he would just, like, there'd be a cloud of smoke and he would disappear. I just don't really believe that he was from here. And so when I found out that he'd passed away, he wasn't old, he was in his 50s. And he passed away under kind of mysterious circumstances. I was like, I think he just, pixelated. Like, I think he just interdimensionalized. I really do. So anyway, it's kind of cool because the person who really helped me, the idea of Elder Council came to me and he helped me flesh it out and think about how to bring tools and all of that. Like, he just wasn't of this world. When you were looking at him, you would know it. Like, it was just, you just knew there was something, and he knew it too. I mean, he knew he wasn't from here. I think most people knew he wasn't from here. We all loved him for that. So while I light my incense or my charcoal to get my Elder Council incense going, I want to talk about what Elder Council is. Have you guys had that experience? Have you ever met somebody that you didn't think was human? I might be the only one. And I haven't had that experience very often. But I don't think he was human. I never saw an announcement of a funeral. That was another thing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think he was one of us. In the best possible way. Yeah, it's neat. And I have stuff he made for me, and I barely, I don't know, Space Daisy. I barely use it. The stuff he made. I have some incenses that he made, and I have a little gemstone amulet that he made and stuff that I got from him when I knew him, and I barely use it because, I mean, it's just so big magic. You have at least 3 at your work. There's that Elder Council incense, by the way, coming your way, so if you don't have it at home, I can kind of pass that to you. Karen Brown. I always am hesitant to say anything because I don't want to be like that crazy lady, but I don't know if I'm from here either. I kind of don't know if I am. I'm still figuring that part out. But he was that for me, where I was just like, when I looked into his eyes, I'm like, there's something else going on there. It's really nuts. But that was a fun conversation. I don't think Volko's from here, Tammy Stevens. I really don't. And it's so funny because for me, what happens to me, Momo's kind of in that camp for me a little bit too. I have that experience sometimes with Momo. Yeah, it's an intense experience with people like that who just are kind of not really from here. Like, do you go to the bathroom like a normal person? Like, you want to ask them questions like that. Like, so do you eat food? I can tell you, Momo's lived with me for 2 days, so I can tell you he eats because I've seen him eat. Dr. Chris says, hello everyone, is download the same as channeling messages? Can somebody help? I'll give you my 2 cents, Dr. Chris. It's not the only 2 cents. And I would like to hear what other people think too. I think that they are the same. I think when you download, you channel, and I think when you channel, you download. So that's how I like decide if something is interchangeable. Oh yeah, there's good among us. There's not good among us. There's all those things, and you can feel that too. I mean, everybody I'm telling you about is very much light oriented, but I've experienced people too where I was like, you're not from here and it ain't good where you came from. You should go back. So I've had that experience too. Okay, so Elder Council, I was told to do it by my spirit guides, and I was told how to do it. So I created this concept, I created the name of it, I created the experience of it. They told me to do it once a quarter, so that's why we do it every 3 months. It's seasonal. I'm glad that helps. And so I was told, you're going to do this, you're capable of doing this, people need this, you're going to teach them how to make space for us to talk to them. It's basically what I was told. So because when I first started teaching sabbatical, the complaint I heard from the spirit world was, we can't get in. They're preoccupied, they're distracted, they say they're listening, but they're not, they're not sleeping well, so we can't get them into REM sleep, so we can't reach them there. So you're, ding dong, gonna help us reach these people, and you're gonna do it through guided meditations and visualizations. Now, if you think about it, we do one guided visualization every month in Soul Shift. I do new moon and full moon, and then we do at least 3 a month plus Elder Council, 4 times a year. So I create lots of these intentional pockets of space for people to really connect with their spirit guides, because it's really important, and I think it's a good intention to have. What I was told was this, though, okay? Morgan. Oh, God, love you for that. What I was told was this, and that this is also a privilege. This isn't like, here, Athena, go do this, and you're going to do it forever. I was told this is a privilege, and that I will be given the direction and everything I need to do this every single time, as long as we take it seriously. So let me explain to you what taking it seriously means. Now, I tell you this every time because I have to. It's part of my agreement. And I don't say it because I think any of you aren't going to take it seriously. In fact, I think you guys this year in Soul Shift are probably the most take it seriously group of folks I've ever worked with. So I tell you this only because it's kind of like part of the process. Like I got to tick the box and say, yes, I told them. But it's not because I don't think that you're going to take it seriously. So here's what taking it seriously means. This is a real experience. It was intended by a force outside of me. And they expect you to come into it reverent, meaning this is serious, I need to pay attention to this, I need to quiet my mind, I need to turn inward, I need to take this seriously. The second requirement is that you need to bring a question. Tonight I'm asking you to bring 3 questions. So you need some kind of stone or amulet or something that you want to charge with the energy, and then you need 3 questions. And I'll get to more about what you should be asking in just a second. And then the third part of what they told me is, those questions need to be, and these were their words, of import. A lot of you remember this. They must take it seriously, and they must bring a question of import. So I was like, well, what's a question of import? And what they explained to me was, a question of import is a question where a bigger decision hinges on the outcome. So a question of import is, should I stay in this relationship? Should I get married? Should I have children? Should I move? Should I find a different career? Am I in the right career? Those are questions of import because something may change based on the outcome of that. A question of import is not, should I wear a green shirt tomorrow? That's not a question of import. Morgan asked, if it's a real experience, can we revisit the same Elder Council more than once? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody asked me once, Morgan, is it okay if I ask the same question again? I'm like, I'd be shocked if you didn't. Very rarely have I gone into Elder Council with a question of import and walked out feeling like, yep, tick that box, got all the answers to my questions, now I'm good. It's like, usually I actually come out with more questions than I had going in. So I love this idea of iterative learning or cyclical learning, where you hit the same point multiple times, and each time you hit it from a slightly different, you know what I mean, vantage point or perspective. I think ultimately that's what kind of cuts the facets in your diamond and makes it shine. You can do multiple stones 3,000%. Absolutely. Oof, I love that. I love hearing that from you, Scarlett, that you already started connecting with your ancestors since this morning. Now, and I'm going to explain this again during the journey too. So now let me go back to what kinds of questions you need to prepare for tonight. And by the way, I'm reading the feeds, so I'm going to continue on. But if you have questions, I really want to be able to answer them, especially those of you who are new. So you'll see me kind of toggle back and forth. I will tell you, toggling back and forth is not easy. It's taken me 9 years to master how to really try to be here with you and also know what's going on there and not let one dominate the other. I don't do a perfect job of it at all, but I really do my best to like be here, but also kind of know what's going on there so that people here don't feel ignored, but that you don't feel like you're losing track of where I am. So bear with me, but it is something I have tried to master over the years, and I will continue to do so. So let's talk about the 3 types of questions that you need to think about for tonight's session. Tonight we're going in to get answers to important questions in your life from your ancestors. That's why it's an ancestral Q&A. So first we're going to move into inquiry mode, where you're going to surface the question. That can mean reading it out loud. That can mean just reading it and just holding it in your mind's eye. That can mean not even reading it. You're going to write it down. It could mean that you completely surrender the question and just trust that they got it, okay? However you choose to hold the question in the actual ceremony is going to be up to you, because you're going to write it before we start, in fact, in just a few minutes. These need to be 3 questions that you are grappling with right now. 3 questions where you feel like, and you can do just one if you want. I'm giving you latitude up to 3. Questions where you feel like if you had answers to these questions, it would help you make better decisions, it would bring you greater peace, and it would give you a better sense of self-awareness and understanding. And I almost want you to think about it as 3 buckets. First, think very personal to you. Like really personal to you. How you feel, what you want, what's making you sad. You know, what you wish you had, what you feel sad that you lost. Something just all about you. And then I would sort of push it, Karen's getting tired already. Then I would push it out to your family. That could include primary partner, that could include your nuclear family, that could include your extended family, that could include your soul family, okay? So it could be anything to do with that. You know, how do I fix my relationship with? Or how do I deepen my passion for? Or how do I bring more authenticity to? If you want, that could also include work or professional. You know, like how do I open up better communication with this person? Now again, I'm guessing that if you have work questions tonight, they're probably not interpersonal. They're probably more like, am I in the right job? They're probably bigger questions than that. Yeah, and I mean, like Nathan's asking a question. So Nathan's going to the macro now. So I would want that 3rd question. I would really take it 30,000 feet, and I would do something macro that connects you either to the planet, to the cosmos, to your lineage, something much bigger than just you. And you know, for me, I'm trying to understand how to be a consciousness doula, because that's what I feel like I am right now. I feel like, and it's a really weird position, because I feel like I'm doulaing other people while I'm also in labor. I literally feel like my feet are in the stirrups and I'm having my own child, but I'm also turning around to you and going, breathe. And I'm like, breathe. It's the weirdest thing I've ever been through, but it's really, really true. So my big meta question is going to be, how do I gracefully doula the people that I lead, while I'm also figuring out how to doula myself through this in a good way, because it's also not just happening to them, it's also happening to me. Does all of this make sense so far? So what I would love to have you do, if you want to do the whole thing with me tonight, okay? Sorry if that was a little graphic, but you get the thing. Can you imagine being a doula and also being in labor? Who the hell would do that? It'd be the craziest thing you ever did. Karen, you can never unsee this, and I am sorry. You saw me in labor, and you cannot unsee it. Thank you, Callie. So Janine says, what about, will I get married and have children? What's my life purpose? And something about spiritual service. I love it. It's beautiful. Again, it's these nesting circles, right? So it's just you, about you. Then it's you in relationship, however you define the intimacy, right? And then it's you macro, right? Crazy me. Okay. If you have a piece of paper and you want to do the whole shebang with me tonight, you're going to take that piece of paper and you're not going to care if it's even or pretty, and you're going to tear it into 3 strips. I'm doing it with you. I am doing it with you. Well, you know what the good news is? I'm never going to be in labor again. No, I'm not. It is not possible for me. So I don't have to worry about it. I can just doula you, and my doors are closed for business. Child business. It is appropriate to ask what your lineage is. Yeah. Totally. Okay. So, so this is what you're going to do. Yeah, and I want you to write them now, okay? Before we go into ceremony. So what you're going to do is you're going to write 3 questions down on these 3 sheets of paper. Question about you. Question about... That's right, Morgan. Question about you in relationship, and then a question about you, big picture, global, right? Yeah. So take a minute. I'm going to write my questions down. You write your questions down. You ready? Fold it up. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. You can long way rip it, short way rip it. Rip it good. Okay. And I want you to write number 1 on the front of the sheet. And then number 2 is your relationship question. Again, relationship to family, relationship to partner, relationship to community, relationship to profession, whatever that might be. We need music for this. And then you're going to write a number 2. You see that? I don't know. Number 2 on that question. And then number 3 is big, big, big picture. So mine is the how do I doula people when I'm in labor? I'm specifically asking, how do I doula people through this time, and also doula myself through this time simultaneously? In a good way. Yeah, we need Deodova. God, I love Deodova. Okay. What is it? Flight of the Bird People or Call of the Bird something. So that's question number 3. So then you have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I want you to sit them out in front of you. We're going to do something interesting tonight. I mean, I hope everything that we do in class is interesting, but I think we're going to do something especially interesting. So keep your pen close by. I'm gonna be calling you in and out of Journey a little bit to pick up those questions and do a little writing, but I'm gonna have you writing without looking at it. This isn't automatic writing. It is subconscious writing. It is unconscious writing. It's by not looking at it, you disconnect from your conscious relationship to what it is that you're writing, which allows you to channel without having a full automatic writing experience. Does that make sense? Return to the Bird Tribe. I think you're right. Oh, Deodova. Okay, you guys ready? Are you ready? Now, do you have any questions? Let me stop there and ask. Do you have any questions about anything that I have shared with you? Some more of my Elder Council insights while I ask. What if they knock you out? I don't think they're going to knock you out. It can be automatic typing. Yeah, you don't have to physically write it if you don't want to. I like to use a pen and paper. I'm old school that way, but if you if you don't want to do that, if you'd rather type it, that's totally cool too. Sheila has to pee, so we'll see you in a few minutes, Sheila. Now would be a good time to take a pee break. While Sheila's taking a pee break, let me tell you a couple things that some of you may not know. Some of you do know this stuff, but again, I feel like I have to repeat this each time because it's just, these are common questions that come up. Your spirit guides don't look like you. Your ancestors may look like they did when you knew them, but they may not, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to talk for 5 more minutes before we get started. So if you want to go take a quick break, now's a good time. Your ancestors do not look like you. So I want to set expectations about what it might look like tonight or feel like. The temperature in the room might change. Sometimes they show up that way. Quite a few of my spirit guides I've never seen in a form. I've only sensed them. I don't think they have a form. So when people come out of Elder Council and go, I didn't see anything, I'm like, they don't have a body. You know, like, I mean, I don't know how to say it without, because I don't want to discount someone's experience if they feel like they come out and they're like, nope, nothing, didn't see a thing, and it's like, okay, so did the temperature change? Did you smell anything different? Did you feel or sense a presence around you? Also, some people are not highly clairvoyant, meaning that's not their primary spiritual gift. So they're more apt to hear something, or to Bonnie's point, see a shape or a color, or smell something, or all of a sudden there's a taste in their mouth and they're not sure. Spirit guides are sometimes animals, and they are sometimes hybrids. Quite a few of my spirit guides are half animal, half human. When I first saw Thoth in a book, like a picture, or I think it was in a book, because it was like, I don't know how old was I when I first saw Thoth, 20 or 21, and when I first saw a picture, I was like, that's my guide. I had been seeing Thoth in my meditations and in journeys in my teenage years every single time. I'm like, holy shit, Thoth is like my personal spirit guide. And of course, I've later gone on to learn in ayahuasca and through regressions and stuff that I have an incredibly intense Atlantean lineage, right? So I think I worked with Thoth. But anyway, I was like, oh my God. So if you see like, well, it was a bird on top and a dude on the bottom, like, make space for that. The ancestors didn't look like we do. They don't have to be human, and they don't even have to be an animal. It could be some iteration of that. Okay, so tonight you have 3 choices. Are you ready? This is the only other thing I have to tell you before we get started. I would like for you to do this exercise with your ancestors because the veil is so thin, and because lineage healing is so powerful. You know what I mean? Once you crack the code on your lineage, it's like all the doors fly open and the healing process just unfolds so much more smoothly. However, I know very well that a lot of people don't want to do lineage work, and you may not have heard this before, but because I work with so many people, I hear a lot of perspectives. A lot of people don't want to connect with their lineage. They don't feel a connection to their lineage. They're not proud of their lineage, and they really want to disconnect. And I'm not here to, judge that one way or another, right? A therapist could say, well, you need to go in and do that for X, Y, and Z. I'm not here to push you to do something that ultimately doesn't feel right to you. So if you don't want to do the Q&A with your ancestors, you can choose to just do the Q&A. You can do the Q&A with your ancestors and your spirit guides. Or if you want an alternative, there's 2 other options that my guides presented today. So I wanted to give you the other 2, and just because for some people it might resonate differently, okay? The other 2 options are, you can do the Q&A, what we're doing together, with the Great Mystery, the One Source. I'm not going to call that God because I think, I believe there is a God, but for our purposes, I think mystery is really powerful. It's like dialoguing with the void of all that is. The absolute inclusive totality of every aspect of awareness. Okay? So you can dialogue with the mystery and have the Q&A there. The third option that I've been feeling into is you can also dialogue with love. There is an energy stream in this universe of pure, unconditional, vibrant, illuminating love. Are your spirit guides also ancestors? They can be. That's why I'm putting them together, but not always. A lot of people's ancestors are not their spirit guides. They're guides, but they're not. A lot of times, at least for me, spirit guides are separate entities and energies that are assigned. I almost see my material lineage as almost being more like guardian spirits. But the big teachers I have on the other side, I don't think are from my line. Yeah, and then you can choose. Like Sarah Perry's calling on Holy Spirit, right? Callie likes the all. And the all is beautiful. And of course, you know that I invoke the Holy Spirit all the time. The one mind, I love that too. And you can do all of them if you want. I just want to give you options because I want you to feel really, really comfortable tonight. And the most important thing for you to know universally about the work that we do in Soul Shift is that's all here. You know what I mean? So it's not, you can completely customize this, and just work with the energies as they resonate with you. Quick ginger ale break. Your father always comes. I love that, Hillary. My dad's mom comes a lot. And I've been wondering if she's coming tonight because I just made that perfume for her, and I could feel her all around me when I made it. And so I was wondering if she would come because I talked to her the whole time I made it. It was one of the most beautiful. Anyway, I don't want to digress, but it was very, very beautiful. Okay, you guys feeling good? Joan likes it all. I do too, Joan. I'm right with you. Okay. I think Elder Council might be for everybody in programs. I'm not sure actually. So let me say this. If you're here, I want you to stay. If you're here, there's a reason that you're here, and I don't want you to go. For right now, okay? If we need to change access or something later. But I hope you guys are okay with that, but I just feel 3,000% if somebody's in a space, I think they're supposed to be there. So I just would prefer that anybody who's here could just please stay. As long as you guys are okay with that, it just feels right. I think there's probably a reason you're here. And we can sort the rest out later. Okay, so let's begin with the anointing process. It's very important, and you don't have to use anything sage goddess or whatever, or just. But I do. Would you like you to choose an oil or an essential oil or some kind of perfume that helps you drop into a deeper state of consciousness. Okay. We made a perfume in Soul Shift last night that I think most of us are calling My Needs First. So I'm going to start there. Just a little bit at my wrist for what I do, a little bit at my third eye for what I know, and a little bit at my ankles. Thanks, you guys, for being very kind. Yeah, I think it's very, very sweet. I've always believed that. I've taught in-person classes. I used to host in-person events in San Diego eons ago, and we would have people who just stumbled in, because I would lead a class in a yoga studio, or I would lead a class in a metaphysical shop, and I'd be in the middle of teaching whatever it was, and somebody would just wander in and be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt," and it's like, I don't think you're interrupting anything. I think the universe picked you up wherever you were an hour ago and then dropped you right here. So I'm starting there. And then Elder Council perfume. I'm going to work with the basic Elder Council tonight. Not that it's basic, but yeah. Oh. And again, same thing. Little at my third eye for what I know, my wrist for what I do, my ankles for where I go. Just goes like right through my channel. Yeah, I'm gonna make My Needs First. I can't guarantee it. I haven't talked to my team yet, but Alexis and I are working on it because we liked it so much last night. So we're talking about making it. Yeah, we made perfume last night in Soul Shift, session 3. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can watch it later. Okay. And take a nice deep breath. You ready? What a joy this is. In we go. It's going to be a gentle one tonight, I think. Meaningful. I would recommend having an extra piece of paper close by in case you run out of space on your little pieces. Okay, so if you're a writer, I'm verbose, so I'm going to have an extra piece of paper if you'd like to have one. Okay, and I'm going to light my candle. I want to invite you, if you have a candle you're working with. If you don't, that's okay. Well, I'm going to use a little Datura too. I remember pulling that out this morning because Datura, the legend of the Datura flower is that if you put a Datura flower under your pillow and you go to sleep, it will reveal all the secrets of the universe to you. So I'm here to receive all the secrets of the universe, so I would like some Datura. Okay. So let's begin. I'm going to roll your shoulders back, sit up nice and straight, open up that diaphragm, and start to connect with your breath. Hands on your knees with your palms up. Keep your energy field nice and open for the energy to move. We want to begin tonight with so much gratitude by calling in and inviting the guides and the guardians of the East. Direction of air and flow and movement, of the dawn, of new beginnings, new possibilities, new answers to old questions tonight. My questions are old. Are your questions old? But new wisdom is needed. So we welcome in the guides and the guardians of the East with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the South, we welcome you in tonight. Energies of fire and transformation, shape-shifting, transforming, becoming something newer and cleaner, brighter, learning how to appreciate the unfolding. We thank you for meeting us here, and through these answers to these questions, bringing us a new level of strength and awareness that will help us change our lives in a good way. We welcome you in with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the West, the Water Gateway, we welcome you in tonight. We may need to shed some tears tonight. We certainly have some purifying to do as we, in the West, look toward emotional healing and recovery, release of anger, frustration, grief, and sorrow. Learning to release and surrender to the waves, what's too heavy to carry. We thank you, guides and guardians of the West, for being here. We welcome you. And to the guides and the guardians of the North, we welcome you in here for strength, for protection and purpose, helping us to appreciate this moment as well. These sacred few moments that we get to really just be in a state of pure conscious inquiry and openness to wisdom. You in the North hold the keys to the castle of wisdom in our lives, and we're here tonight to humbly seek and retrieve answers to questions in our hearts. We welcome in the guides and the guardians of the North. To the guides and the guardians of the upper gateways, moving now to the vertical channel. This includes all of the guardians of all of the angelic doors. This includes the keepers of the Akash and the history and records of all time, all wisdom, all knowing. We call upon you tonight to be with us here in this space of inquiry. Help to guide the questions on our heart, and also help to guide the wisdom we receive. We're open to receiving. We welcome you in this evening. And to the guides and the guardians of the middle world, the central spaces, the here and now moment, thank you for our community. Thank you for the energy that we raise and hold together. Thank you for the strength that we represent for and with each other. We welcome you into the ceremony space with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the lower world, the bone and mineral kingdom, we welcome you in this evening. Help us to anchor in and tether in and burrow in to the ancestral bones, to that incredible matrix that holds all space, light, and time across this beautiful planet. Help us to feel the energy of this planet coursing through us, coming up through that first chakra and beaming up through all of our 7 physical chakras, lighting up our spinal cord, surrounding it and bathing it in a luminous light of wisdom tonight. And thank you for connecting us across this vertical gateway. We welcome you in with gratitude. And with that, we are open and ready. Are you ready? Okay. Thinking it might actually be easier, so you don't have to come too far out of the meditation, to take your question when you wrote it on one side and put it down on the other side, the blank side, so that you can just start to write down answers. Here's the reason why I don't want you writing on the side of the question. And this is where this gets really interesting, okay? I don't want you to think about which question it was that you're answering. Tonight, when you get wisdom, I want you to intuitively put the answers that you're getting on the blank side without turning it over and looking at what question you're answering. You're going to see some really interesting interconnections between your questions and your problems and your challenges and the answers tonight, because it's all like this. We all think that our personal challenges and our family challenges and our community challenges and our planetary challenges are discrete. What I think tonight will show you, what my guides have said it's going to show you, is that there's an intermingling, and if you can solve or correct or address one aspect of it, you're going to unlock every other door in your life. And that's a soul shift. So I hope you're ready for that. Okay, so have your papers ready. You can mix them or leave them. Just make sure that what's facing you is blank with a number, right? That'll be enough of a cue to your subconscious. But consider closing your eyes, and I'll tell you when to open them and write. Or when I say to get your paper, if you don't need to open your eyes, don't open your eyes. Keep your eyes closed the whole time if you can. You can write words upon words, symbols upon symbols. It'll make sense to you. I see you, Casey. So tonight's journey is not a journey outside of you. It's not a journey outside of this dimension or this time. It's a journey within. So I want you to become aware of your connection to the floor beneath you. If you're laying down, becoming more aware of that lower back. So I'm gonna keep my eyes closed. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper and I'm just gonna begin, eyes closed, to write down everything that I see. And I'm just gonna hold the space. I'm just gonna hold the space while you write. I'm gonna give you just one more minute on this question. I see you, Holly. Thank you for that. I'm just going to give you one more minute to write here on question number 2. Okay. So now we're ready to move on to number 3. Your third question of import. If your eyes are closed, don't look. It's really cool if your eyes are open. You can see the candle and the reflection of the drum. It's kind of neat. Alright, spirit guides, ancestors, light, mystery, love, power, magic, whoever you're calling upon. We come to you with our third line of inquiry tonight. Once again, humbly placing it at your feet. And we seek wisdom, your wisdom. Answers to questions on our heart that some of us have been sitting with for a long time. New questions, maybe. We ask tonight that you provide us answers if they're available, insight, symbols, colors, words, anything you can provide to illuminate this part of the path for us. We're so grateful for the wisdom already on display. We ask that you please give us insight that's clear and easy to follow. If you communicate in symbols, please give us the guide to interpret accurately. And we begin the process of answering question 3. Now. So we'll take just one more minute here. Add anything else that's coming through. Okay. Now I'm going to do one last drum for what I'm going to call fill in the blank. So one last chance to kind of just channel or download or receive anything that might clarify something that you've seen. If you've been receiving, and again, you don't have to open your eyes at all. I think it's better to keep your eyes closed. If you've been receiving and it's like, well, how does this line up with this? This is a good time to ask a clarifying question, and then we can call in some wisdom to support that. So our last round begins now. So restarting gratitude. We thank all of the voices that have come forward tonight to give us some insight. Reinforces so powerfully how the wisdom really is within. We just have to make space to hear, to allow, find pathways in. And so for this final round, this is about clarification. This is your chance to fill in the blanks. Spirit guides, ancestors, love, power, mystery, magic, source. If there's any additional symbols, imagery, numbers, insights, messages, quotes, words, did I say words? Anything else that you need to offer us tonight to flesh out the picture, clarify the perspective, receive it with so much gratitude right now. I want you to visualize your heart right now just opening, like the most unconditional love you've ever felt for anyone in your life. Come into this next final phase with such an open heart, just willing, say yes. I want this, I want the information, I need it, and I know I do. I'm willing to follow it. Open, 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 so that you can be a good, clear, open channel. Let it pour through. Your response to question 4 begins. Just take one more minute there to receive or see or feel. Take a note where you are right now about what your overall sensation is. Do you feel calmer than you did when we started? Do you feel more peaceful than you did when we started? Do you feel more curious than you did when we started, or more at ease than you did when we started? It's good to check in with yourself as we go through a process like this and just kind of notice what's happening to your whole central nervous system as you come into a space of just receiving. You're not having to do anything. You don't have to earn this. This is just present for you. So what does that feel like in your central nervous system? If you had pain or discomfort before we started, like, has it shifted a little bit? Even just a slight amount is good progress. It means energy's flowing, yeah? I see you guys. You're doing great. We ask the guides for tonight, whoever's guiding you, to take this final moment to offer any clarifying messages, symbols, insights, or wisdom before we close the session. Anything else they wish to express or communicate? And we're just grateful to receive it in this moment. All right. Now there'll be time for you to look through your responses later. I'm going to bring us out and thank our guides so that we can dialogue for a few minutes about, and maybe help you process and integrate a little bit, which we usually don't do during an Elder Council session, but I thought it would be really neat tonight because I have no doubt some interesting things have probably come up for you. So let's begin by returning to that receptive position, how you were when you began. We want to give thanks to the guides who showed up for you in the form that they did, whether that was the ancestors or the spirit guides or the ascended masters, star beings from your home dimension. Could have been the Holy Spirit, as we talked about earlier, just the all, one source frequency that you were connecting to. We want to thank you for the wisdom and insight that you brought forward for us this evening. We receive it with grace and gratitude. We ask that you help us integrate this insight now so that we can not just understand it, but live it in a good way and embody it through our actions day to day as we move out of this sacred space and back into our dimensional realities. And we're going to seal up that crown chakra. We opened 4 major chakras tonight, right? 5 major chakras tonight. So we're going to go back in and seal those now. It's kind of like going out into the world with your zipper open. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to close your spirit fly by closing first that crown chakra, which is that highest chakra in your physical body at the top of your head. That's your crown. Again, that's your home of faith and your connection to your creator. So we're going to seal the crown chakra now, coming over, sealing the third eye, closing the screen, giving thanks for the polishing that happened tonight. You might experience a better sense of clairvoyance after this. The cleansing of the third eye can be really powerfully done energetically, so hopefully you got a little boost out of that. And then we'll bring it down, we'll seal up the heart chakra. Just closing the center of love and compassion for now. And then down to the root chakra. Again, feeling that lower chakra, relaxing the muscles into the floor. Sealing the root chakra beneath you, at the bottom of you, under you. Becoming aware of those muscles tightening. Sealing the pelvic floor. And now we release the guides and the guardians of the 7 directions. We begin with the guides and guardians of the lower world, the bone and mineral kingdoms. We thank you so much for anchoring us in tonight and helping us to plug into that incredibly vast network of light that expands across this planet in all directions. We give thanks for ancestral wisdom if it came through, reassurances from our own lineage if they were available. We release the guides and the guardians of the lower world with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the middle world, our community in the here now moment, we give thanks for each other, for our capacity to experience this journey, but also to be fully present with and for each other, holding the energy together. We thank you for this time and this space. We release you with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the upper world, we give thanks to you as well. Thank you for helping us access any Akashic wisdom that needed to be received and coded and integrated tonight. Thank you for helping us connect with our highest angels in the upper dimensions to feel that sense of peace and belonging. We release you with gratitude. And on the horizontal plane, we release the guides and the guardians of the north, giving thanks for their grounding, stability, and protection during this evening and at all times. We give thanks and release them with gratitude. To the guides and the guardians of the west, thank you for helping us to see old problems through new eyes, to be available for this cleansing and healing and releasing. We give thanks for your presence and your gentle nurturing tonight as we move through and gather this wisdom. We release you with gratitude. To the guides and the guardians of the south, we give thanks for changes that will unfold after we come into deeper alignment and awareness tonight. We give thanks for wisdom and insights already on their way that will help us shift and transform and change toward a higher vibrational version of ourselves in the weeks and months and years to come. We release you with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the east, thank you for always opening a new door. Thank you for always reminding us that rebirth is possible in every moment. Thank you for helping us to create deeper clarity tonight, where maybe it didn't exist before, and helping us to synthesize and make connections between the insights that you give us. We release you with gratitude from this space. Amen. Aho. So it is. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, how you doing? So it is. Whew. Now, I want you to take a minute. I'm so glad you guys are here. I want you to take a minute. This is the really interesting part of this exercise. You're very welcome. I want you to look at the questions now. And then I want you to look at what you wrote on the back. Do any of you feel like you're about to read a surprise? I love you guys too. Do any of you feel like you're about to read a surprise? It's almost like a note from your spirit guides, isn't it? I mean, it's almost like a reading from your spirit guides, right? So I'm going to take a minute and read mine. This is why I do it right alongside you. Yeah, and you know what? Just kind of sit with it all, Felicia, because it's all of that at the same time, right? Okay, so I'm going to read mine. I'm going to go quiet for a minute. You can read yours. Okay. Ooh, interesting. I love reading your comments, by the way. So, I mean, mine are really accurate. I know, well, that happened. I, this is a new experience for me. So I don't, it's not like this is something I'm an expert in and I've done over and over. So it's something new that I created to bring to you. So I don't have like a lot of a framework to help you understand everything. But what I know for sure, it's interesting, right? What I know for sure is this is a way of accessing wisdom within you that you may not have understood you could do before, okay? And the reason I wanted to clear off your third eye before you did it was so that there, sometimes we have a dusty third eye, right? It's like the wisdom is there, the messages are there, but it's like they're under this layer of pain and wounding and disillusionment and fear and all of these things. And so when you clear that off, you create a lot of space for clarity in your own thought process. So Scarlett wants to know, what do you do with the notes? I don't know what you're going to do with the notes, so I can tell you what I am going to do with the notes. So I am going to take all of these, and for me, and I'm going to open up 4 Word documents. And I'm going to type everything that I can figure out from this, because there was a little bit of like writing that went over itself. And then I'm going to try to expand this. So I'm going to try to continue writing. What's an example of that? So one of my questions about how to doula people through this time, and also doula myself, because I'm going through it too. It says, the veil is open. Don't overlook this power and its ability to transform and heal you and others. You need moisture, tenderness, and nurturing. Look up the Sea of Cortez. Call upon its energy, magnetize it. I don't know a lot about the Sea of Cortez. I haven't spent time there, so, but apparently there's some energy there that I can work with to help people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write all that down. I need moisture, tenderness, nurturing. Look up the Sea of Cortez. Then I'm going to ask myself, I'm going to keep dialoguing. So in order to find, what does moisture mean, right? What does tender, maybe like hydration? And what does tenderness mean? I think I know what that means. What does nurturing mean? And then how, what would it look like to magnetize that? Or is there an energy, and I'm going to look up the history probably tonight of the Sea of Cortez, and then see if there's, what I'm getting is there's some kind of vortex there. Maybe I'll plan a quick trip. Can you travel to Mexico right now? I don't even know if I can travel to Mexico right now. Is it a red country? I don't know. You're at the Sea of Cortez right now? What can you tell me? We can take that offline. Anyway, I'm just giving you an example, right? Lotto numbers would be cool. That's never happened to me, by the way. I've never gotten lotto numbers. Interesting. So Space Daisy's seeing old sailing ships. Kelly said, my message was to step out into the light and out of the shadow, to thine own self be true. Ooh, one of my favorite quotes. Because I do think it all comes down to whether you know yourself or not. Oh, I'm so glad, Vanya. Well, and Vanya, like for you, what I'm hoping, I don't want to put pressure on you, but I'm kind of hoping you're going to art journal all this. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine this is total fodder for you, right? Like, there's got to be inspiration for days in what you wrote that I could imagine you would. It was weird. As soon as I said that to you, Vanya, I think you're supposed to make an art journal and sell it, like publish it. Like you design the, I can see it in my mind's eye, Vanya, and as soon as I said that to you, my guides were like, good, now tell her to go and make it. I think you're gonna get some inspiration from this to build like a blank art journal. Because some people, they wanna do the journaling, but they're not gifted, right, with the art, they don't know how to put it together. It's like maybe you could make a book that's like art journal pages, but it's like in a normal book style that you could self-publish, and then like someone like me could buy it and then I could fill it in. So I feel like I'm art journaling, but like you kind of did the first part of the work for me. Can you see it too? I hope Vanya can see it. No pressure, by the way. I don't know what Blood of the Holy is, Bonnie. I'd love to know what it is though. But wouldn't you totally buy Vanya's art journal? I mean, I would, because I'm not good at the art journaling part, but I like it. Hillary got the election results. I don't know if I want to know. As I prepare to sit down and watch that, tonight. Interesting. I don't know. Pretty cool. Jess got Faint Rainbows 4, 7, and Pyramids. That feels artistic too, I think. Yeah, interesting. Andrea said, I wrote, the ether is inside you, sitting in an altar. The duality is inside you. Vanya started that book a year ago and didn't finish it. Yeah, I like that, Karen Carley, by the way. You're a wordsmith and a poet, too, so it's fun when I hear you translate. Yeah, I'd rather you... I think for now, let's not share the outcome of the election. Not that I don't think it's accurate, but I just don't want to take us out of sacred space. It's such a mundane... I mean, it's important, and we can talk about it later, but I don't want to take us out of sacred space. Yeah. Swirling Light Portals for Patricia Guerra. Isn't that beautiful? I just love reading your comments. Janine I got names and time. Charlotte, Derek, 1 year, 5 months, 3 days. I'm the product of 1,000 lifetimes, says Daphne. Interesting. MJ got 831 and some light codes. Like word light codes, or how did you... I'm curious how you got your light codes. Angela got trees. Sheila was told to go into the spider web and be the spider. I kind of love that. Lynn wrote sand and waves. Nathan mine was a silver tree planted in my lineage forest. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, that's really lovely. Debbie says, Dina, what you wrote down be a message like for me or someone else? It can totally be for someone else. In automatic writing, it's often for someone else. Although tonight, I think the intention was more internally, you know what I mean? But in automatic writing, it's very common to get messages for other people. 1,000%. Let's see. Lauren said, I had Trump in a white suit with his back to me like he was in a cabin of a plane, but in the kitchen. I would need clarification on what that means. Let's see. Judith said, each of my questions answered with different symbols. That's interesting. Are you kind of a symbolic person? I'm kind of a symbolic person, so that happens to me sometimes. Chloe says, I was told what I'm asking to be released will be released of me. I'm happy for you. Spirit guides are saying it's been a long time coming, too. Chrissy said, I keep hearing it's okay while my 5-year-old struggled in another room. Learning how to manage energy, right? Could be part of that. Angela thinks she might have gotten runes. Yeah, so, start with the runic, the index card, or word, and saw a pyramid. That feels Sumerian, or it feels Egyptian to me, Karen. Does it have a Sumerian or like an Egyptian? My guides are saying Egyptian. Does it have an Egyptian energy to you? I'm almost seeing, it's so weird. I was chatting with Louie today, Stone Age Louie, on WhatsApp. He just sent me a big box of jewelry for our gem sale. In any case, and what I'm visioning in my mind as you write that is almost like a pendant that he would make with an eagle, and then like a parent. You know how he does like those layered jewelry where you can kind of see things like an eagle when I have the wisdom to use it. That feels like prosperity to me, prosperity energy. I'm just giving you kind of my 2 cents a little bit. Let's see. Lots of dreams coming true. I love that. Wolf tracks. Londa got the color gold, the letters spelling the word love, and a sunflower, and then I saw the color green. Well, gold and green are prosperity colors, Londa, and then sunflowers often represent like fullness and expansion energy. They're such a symbol of like summer solstice, growth at its highest point. So I feel like that's also maybe a symbol of prosperity for you. Yeah, this is fascinating, you guys. I love seeing, Casey says, be gentle when making up for time you didn't realize you missed. Isn't that the truth? And I have, Casey. Denise asked, what about a symbol? I got a red symbol about 4 times, but I don't know what it means. So draw the symbol for us, Denise, and put it in the Facebook group. We'll look it up. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys, my favorite class I ever took as an undergraduate was a class in symbology, the study of symbols. And I still feel lucky they even offered a class like that. And so our textbook for the class was this Encyclopedia of Symbols that I still have in my library downstairs. You can get a copy of it or another Encyclopedia of Symbols on Amazon. You can just get a used copy for a couple bucks. But it's such a great resource, and you're going to love doing that if you're into symbolism. Because what I do sometimes is just pick it up and flip through, and all of a sudden I'll see the symbol and I'll go, oh my God, I saw that in a journey. And then you're like, oh my God, it's this, this, and this. So sometimes I just flip through it and just try to see if I have a reaction to seeing some of the symbols that are there. Because sometimes it takes me back to journey experiences that I've had. Janine says, desserts are part of your path, but water will come. Follow the star that falls. It is light. I don't know. Let me think into it and feel into it, though. I'm excited for you guys. And you can do this over and over and over and over again. Rochelle got a spider web, too. Millie says, all my answers were one. Lead with your fire to open your heart. Millie, I want a t-shirt that says that. Don't you think? Lead with your fire to open your heart. That's a beautiful quote. Or maybe you should make like bumper stickers out of it. Sounds like a book title too. Let's see. Yeah, so if you've found symbols and you don't know, draw the symbol and post it in the Facebook group, and Alexis and I will give you our best 2 cents about it. You know what I mean? This is so fun. What does a square mean? Balance. If you're in Soul Shift, you're also in Crystal Masters. And I actually spent our second week this month teaching you the Platonic solids. And one of them is the square, or what's known in geometry as the hexahedron. Because the square has 6 sides, and exe in Greek means 6, so that's where hexagon or hexahedron comes from. And I'll give you the quick story here, but you should go back and watch your second class of the month in Crystal Masters, because it's going to give you more insight. So the square represents, because it is six-sided in total, but it's four faces, right? The four faces of the four edges represent earth, air, fire, water, and then north, south, east, and west. So it's stabilization, balance, foundation. Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, so let's continue this conversation and this dialogue in our Facebook group. And that's a when it comes to elder council, that is such a good place for you to process what you saw. Alexis and I love giving you our 2 cents. We may not always know what you saw, but we are always happy to offer you our insights and our interpretations. That's what we're there for. And then what's nice too is you guys also have fantastic insights for each other. You know, I mean, I'm not always the smartest person in the group. I hold a container, but you know, I'm human. And there are some of you who have more expertise in certain things, you know, like, you know, maybe you might have more expertise than I do in Celtic mythology and symbolism. So it's good to get the perspective of other people in the group too. So I'm going to blow out my candle. Invite you to do the same. Cheers to another, I think, beautiful Elder Council experience. It was my honor to lead you tonight through that process. I want to thank my spirit guides who have really dutifully guided me for the last 9 years in doing this work. I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know what, but it all seems to come and happen and come together and hold together in ways that really do just astound me sometimes. So I'm very grateful for them and their guidance too. And I want to thank you guys for being here and being brave, because Elder Council, you know, I mean, hopefully you see it's not scary, but it can be a little intimidating. It's like, I'm going to do what? I'm going to go and do a journey and like listen for the voices of my spirit guides? Like what? For some people, sometimes it's like a little more than they bargained for. But it's also can be kind of the centerpiece of our experiences, because there's so much wisdom and insight to be had when you go in, especially with an open mind and an open heart, which you guys did tonight. You did a fantastic job. So if this was your first Elder Council, it's a little different, wouldn't you guys say, than I usually do? It's usually much more of like sort of a graphic visualization, but this is what the guide said to do tonight. So, and it looks like most of you enjoyed it, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, we have no Elder Council candles and we have no Elder Council incense. So Alexis, will you please send that note on to our team? It's mostly because we moved that we just don't have all the tools for everything right now, but we're working on it. But I'm so happy to hear that, Molly Nicholson. I really am. And Emery, thank you for being here. I really, Jalyn and Patricia, I really appreciate all of you, every single one of you, so much. I love that. Cecilia is going to have a raspberry Italian malt wine drink. Okay, why don't I have that? One thing I want to tell you guys is that, I don't know if you saw the announcement, but my sister works for Williams-Sonoma, and they're offering a Day of the Dead cocktail class. And so she gave me 6 tickets to give away. It's next Thursday. It's a Zoom class with Alba Huerta, who's an incredible, I call her a mixologist. She's not a bartender. She's a mistress. And my favorite cocktail in the world is a Oaxacan Old Fashioned. It's an Old Fashioned, but made Oaxacan style with mezcal. So anyway, she's teaching us how to make Oaxacan Old Fashions for Day of the Dead. So anyway, during tomorrow's lunchtime live, I'm going to be giving those tickets away. So if you were interested in having a ticket or winning a ticket or receiving a ticket, I would love to give a couple away to our community members. So would love to see you there tomorrow. All right, thank you everybody for being here. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed every single aspect of this experience. Keep journaling, keep writing, keep sharing in the Facebook group. Alexis and I are here to support you truly and help you process and help you analyze. So enjoy, you guys. If the debate is too much, remember to protect your central nervous system. I am going to say this. I am not a political person, and I truly, when I tell you, I have friends on both sides of the aisle. I have friends on both sides of the aisle. My best friend is an analyst for CNN, in full disclosure. So I have a really interesting bird's eye view into politics because I live vicariously through her. and through all her adventures. In fact, I think she's covering the debate tonight for CNN, so I want to make sure I'm there to watch her and support her. But I have friends on both sides of the aisle. I have family on both sides of the aisle. If it gets to be too much for you, take a break. You know what I mean? It's really good to protect your psyche and your energy field, and so, you know, watch as much as you want, but it's also good to have boundaries and say, I've had enough, I'm going to take a break. So, all right, you guys, you can find out more about the Alba Huerta's mixology class on the main Facebook page for Sage Goddess. That's where we put the link to the event page on Williams-Sonoma's website, so you can find more about that there. And thank you for being here tonight. I really enjoyed your company. So hopefully I'll see you online tomorrow. And if not, I'm going to see you at some point this weekend for Ovid, the return of Ovid, because we haven't read Ovid in a very long time, and I have missed it. So I will figure out what weekend day we're going to read together, and then if you're available, then I'll look forward to seeing you then too. Have a great rest of your night, you guys. Thank you, Alexis, for being there as always, and see you soon.